the applications did ebb and flow here and there over the course of my time there, the quality never really fluctuated that much. So the number of applications changed, but the quality of applications really stayed quite high. And what I mean by that is that there are plenty of people with really strong numbers who apply to Harvard, but it really was the whole application that was looked at. I mean, I don't say that to be Pollyanna-ish about it and say that, the numbers don't matter, because of course they do. You're applying to an academic program, and the two biggest predictors of your academic success are your GPA and your LSAT score, now the GRE too, but mostly the GPA and the LSAT score. So of course the numbers matter. But there were always compelling cases. There were always people who Harvard could take a chance on because they had enough people to fill those gaps with those really high numbers. And so the people who had the amazing story and can share a really wonderful perspective that is, and I hate to use the word unique because it's just so overused, but really share a unique perspective, something that's really different. So the personal stories were by far, with a strong academic background, that made a big difference. People who have overcome a lot, or people who really have a different perspective to share, that really made a big difference. I also think focus makes a big difference, and maturity. So focus in the fact that, somebody who is really passionate about something, and another overused word is passionate, but still appropriate, but somebody who's really feels strongly about a cause and has followed through with that. So somebody who has done a lot of work for, an organization that they feel very strongly about, and that's what they want to continue on in their legal career. So people with that kind of focus, like this wasn't just a Elle Woods moment, I think I'll go to law school, but really well thought out plan to go to law school. And then the maturity factor is also important. Somebody who can bring experience, somebody with work experience, but really it's not just a tunnel vision since they were a child wanting to go to law school. They've really got some experience and understood exactly what it means to go to law school and to invest in the time, the money, the energy into a law degree, and what that means on the back end as well.
Well, thanks for breaking that down into those different categories. I'm wondering if you could maybe share an example, and you can anonymize details, of course, but any examples within any of those categories of applicants you can think of where maybe they didn't have the numbers, but there was some compelling story that led you to take a chance on them.
Yeah. So, and by the way that that the admissions decisions are made at Harvard, at least when I was there, it wasn't just one person. There was always an admissions committee that collectively decided. And it's done a little bit differently now, but when I was there, the faculty had a vote. So we would recommend people to be admitted, but the faculty had the final say. So the faculty could say yes or no. So it was never, we could always push or advocate for somebody, but it was never just one person making the decision. I'm trying, there were a couple of people that I remember just being really, the odds were stacked against them. I think poverty is something that is hard to overcome, and it's hard to get to law school, never mind an elite legal education, when you start out poor. And so those cases, and there were several cases of people who really had a difficult upbringing, who worked incredibly hard against all odds to bring themselves to where they were, and their natural talent, their grit, really helped them shine. And they took advantage of every opportunity that was given to them, and they're change makers. So I think those are kind of the cases that I think of when I think of people who made a difference. And then I guess also with the maturity level, there were several people who law school was their second career. And so I remember there were at least one or two medical doctors who applied to law school. And I just found that fascinating. And of course they were brilliant, so that didn't hurt. But they had very good reasons for wanting to switch careers. And you can, there were plenty of other categories of people who went in one direction for a very long time and then completely changed their mind to want to go to law school, and had good reason to. And so those are other cases that I thought were really interesting as well.
That is very interesting. So I gather from that someone doesn't necessarily have to have legal work experience or a legal background, but you do want them to have a compelling reason for why they're choosing to go to law school now.
Exactly. And it's the same thing that we talk to people who are applying to law school now. You don't have to have legal experience before going to law school. You just have to have a really good reason to why you want to go to law school. And you need to be able to articulate why you want to go to law school, and not just because it seems like, it would be a good fit. Beyond that, what are the reasons? Why do you want to go to law school? So being able to express that through your application materials, I think is really important.
Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I wish you all the best and take care.